This is a Defocus Media production.
Audio Jungle.
What's up, everyone? It's your favorite optometrist, Dr. Darryl Glover.
And I'm Dr. Jennifer Lyerly, resident optometry nerd.
And welcome to Defocus Media, optometry's #1 podcast, where we discuss the hottest topics, latest technology, eyewear, practice management, and more. So sit back, relax, and defocus. What's up, everyone? It's your favorite optometrist, Dr. Darryl Glover. Today, I'm super excited because I get to hang out with my man, my guy, Dr. Harbir, Sian. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, bro. Thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here. It's been a while since we've done something like this, collaborative like this, man. So I'm excited.
I know. We need to do more of this. You know, people want to see us together, man. So we get out here and make it happen, you know. Matter of fact, man, I want to tell you something. The other day, I was actually at your old stomping grounds. I was at the College of Optometry. And when I tell you that campus is amazing, man, it is amazing. It's beautiful. The architecture, the people, just great energy in general, man. So I understand why you went there. It was a great experience.
I was sold the second I walked in the door there, man. But the environment's amazing. The school's amazing. The city's amazing. I loved it there. What a great time, man. Had a great time.
Yeah. Absolutely. And, you know, it's key to make sure you find the right optometry school to go to. That way you could be a fantastic clinician like yourself. But in addition to that, we got to make sure that we are always learning. We are always networking. We are always around our colleagues. And today's guest is an amazing friend of the podcast. Friends and family, I like to welcome Ashley Mills. Ashley Mills is the Chief Executive Officer of the Vision Council. And today we're going to talk about everything Vision Expo West. How are you doing today, Ashley?
I'm great, and I'm really pleased to be here with these two very dapper ODs. This is such a nice way to end a Monday.
Well, let me let you in on a little secret, everyone that's tuning in. I came in with just a regular shirt. It looked like it was kind of torn and everything, and Harbir walked in looking like Mr. GQ. So I had to run upstairs and do my Superman deal and change into my cape, which is my my suit jacket here and my pocket square on this side. So thank you, Dr. Harbir Sian, for making me do better.
Hey, man, I'm always trying to keep up with you, dude. So whatever you saw in me, that's what you see in yourself, dude. I was just a reflection of how well you've been keeping up. So I appreciate it, man.
The man that has all the answers. Well, check it out. Today, we really want to dive deep into Vision Expo West, Ashley. We had you on in the past, and we just love to bring you on because you have all the answers, and everyone wants answers about Vision Expo West. But before we jump into that, you really have to just really tell us about who you are, your background. You know, we want to learn a little bit more about you before we jump into the nitty-gritty of Vision Expo.
Okay, and before I do that, will you tell my kids what you just said, that I have all the answers? Because that is not the popular opinion around this household. In fact, I don't have any answers.
They'll learn. The older they get, they'll learn. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, I haven't gotten that far yet, but apparently I appreciate that you said that. I am so happy to be here. I'm Ashley Mills. I'm the CEO of the Vision Council. The Vision Council is the industry's association representing over 700 of our optical suppliers, our optical retailers. So the people who make your frames, your lenses, the equipment that makes the frames and the lenses, the people that sell it. We represent all of those companies, and we exist because we believe that vision matters, and we're going to fight for it as hard as we can on Capitol Hill and around the world. And to that end, we believe that we're all stronger together. And so we host a show in New York and Las Vegas every year, or this year in Orlando instead of New York. But we host a show to bring the entire industry and the profession together so that we can all learn and grow together.
Awesome. Well, I go to Vision Expo every year, and Vision Expo is just one of those events that it really excites me. You know, I know it's one of those events where you can go to and you can network, you can learn, you grow as a person personally, but also professionally. It's just so much that goes on there that whatever you want, you can find at Vision Expo. And it's also in Vegas, so when it's in Vegas, it really goes down. It's a lot of excitement. Harbir, man, I'd love to learn more about your experience at Vision Expo before we jump into some of these questions here, man.
For sure, man. First of all, I just want to riff on something that Ashley just said. Ashley, I think it's so important that together, you know, we work, we grow together, we move forward together, we support each other. It's so important. I'm always really, really big on the not just collaboration between ODs, but the industry as a whole. You know, if we're not advocating for the profession together, it's just not going to grow. So I think that's so important. And attending events like this that's one of my favorite things, is because you feel that togetherness, right? You meet people who are like-minded, people who are trying to push in the same direction, be innovative, all these things. So that's going to be, you know, one of my favorite things about attending conferences in general. But Vision Expo, you know, I've attended a few times now, and every time I walk in, I feel like I don't even know how to put it into I don't know how to articulate properly. It's like a wave of like excitement hits me. It's almost like a kid in a candy shop. I'm like, holy cow, this is incredible every time. And you think after a little while, you think you get used to it, but you know, it's just that feeling, and I love it. It's a conference on a whole different level than other conferences that I've attended. I love that part.
Yeah, I agree, man. And it sounds like we both go for the same vibe, for the same reason. But actually, I would love to know, you know, why should eye care professionals even consider or think about going to Vision Expo? I mean, I know my reason, Harbir knows his reason, but we'd love for you to share. Why should everyone go to Vision Expo? Why is this the conference of the year, the conference of the decade, the conference of, you know, like, why should everyone attend this amazing event?
Well, there are many reasons, of course, but I think one of the most important is that our time is precious. It's a resource that none of us have enough of. It's the only thing we can't make more of. And when you come to Expo, you know that if you're taking those couple days away from your practice, away from your employees, away from your family, away from your life, basically, to go to this conference, you're going to accomplish so much in those couple days, and you'll return with the CE you needed, or business learning on the show floor, all the products, all the relationships, the innovation, the new things that are happening in our industry, and the connection with the greater profession and the greater vision community that I believe honestly energizes all of us so much. If you take that time to go and invest a couple days away, it is time well spent if you come to Expo, because you can actually get everything that you need to do done, and then you go back and you've lifted your head up out of the day to day, and you've seen what the future is going to hold for the industry and the profession, and you've done what you needed to do, and along the way you've made a lot of valuable connections, and you've talked to your contemporaries who are going through the same challenges that you are, and maybe learned some really cool ideas from them as well, and you might also have had a little bit of fun as well. Which is not a bad thing.
Might. Yeah. Definitely the fun factors in pretty quickly once you step into Vegas. That's the other thing. I feel like Expo West, when you step out, you get onto the strip, you know, you're just like, there's a whole different vibe there too. But when you're in the conference, when you're in the exhibition center, you can kind of feel that vibe too. There's a bit of that different energy there for sure. And what type of experiences can people expect on the show floor in the exhibition center? What kind of different things are going on that maybe we wouldn't experience at other conferences?
Well, I love that you mentioned the energy, because I think that is something that if we could just put it in a bottle and all of us take a little bit of it home, we would all be better off. But it does happen there, and we saw it in Orlando as well. And with that energy, there was also a very healthy dose of just gratitude and optimism and happiness to see each other again. So I think that all of that will be in Las Vegas. We also have a really deliberately designed expo experience so that you can experience the different parts of the industry as you move through it. So you can find, we call them neighborhoods. You can find the products, the designers, the vendors, the technology, the equipment. It's all laid out really beautifully at our show. So we have different neighborhoods, the scene, the focus. the scene is where we do our non-CE education, which has actually become one of the differentiators for our event that I think people really value. It's an opportunity to see a little bit of programming, hear from business leaders, designers, ODs, opticians, to hear from your contemporaries and have a chance then to talk to them and interact with them. And it's just, I think it's an invaluable and really up close experience. We also in Vegas have the Suites program. So in addition to the exhibition at the Sands and the Convention Center, there's also the Suites, which is going to be just bustling with a lot of new brand announcements that even I don't know yet, that are secret, and product launches and cool designers. And I think there's just quite a bit for everyone. And then of course there's the conference program as well. So if you're going to take a couple days away from your practice and your family, you'll get a lot, you'll see it all at Expo.
Yeah, I like the scene idea. You know, obviously we attend conferences for CE. That's very important. We need our hours. But a lot of times there's topics we want to talk about that maybe don't have that accreditation, but are still super relevant and like help us move forward and bring new ideas back home. And maybe in a more not entertaining, maybe not the right way, but like a more energetic way that we can absorb that content more. But we don't get the CE credit for it, but it's still so important. There's the Suites idea I think is pretty cool. I think I'm always one for sort of high-end brands and luxury type of experiences. So I think it's cool when you can have something that's a little bit more exclusive and you know, set to the side, not just your standard floor experience. Can you tell us about the Union? Is that one of the neighborhoods?
Yeah, so the Union's really where our like design-centric pop culture brands are going to be. It's a place where things are just kind of emerging and happening. And I think, like you said, you like the high-end suites experience. I think what's nice about the show is that the neighborhoods and the suites and the show floor are laid out that based on what you're looking for, you'll find your way and you'll discover all of these great companies and new products and designers and philosophies. There's also technology, and I know Zeiss is doing a lot around blue light and UV protection. There's something, you'll find your way very nicely throughout. So I think the Union's definitely a must stop on the exhibit hall show floor for everyone.
That's awesome. I love that you just have a lot of different options for anyone that comes to the show. So everyone that's, you know, on the border of should I go, should I go? No, because it's going to be something there for you, whether it's, you know, programming, whether it's getting up with one of your colleagues. There's always something there for you at Vision Expo. Trust me, you can get into a lot of trouble. I do every single year. Good trouble at that, all right? I promise. I promise.
What kind of trouble?
Darryl's living the optometry version of the Hangover movie, I think, when he goes to the EW.
Well, hey, I'll tell you this story. One year, I was in Vision Expo West in Vegas, and I was with Dr. Adam Ramsey, and we stayed a little further out from where the conference was taking place. And when we were set to leave the actual conference, Adam had this brilliant idea. He's like, "Oh, I see the hotel right there. Let's walk." So I said, "Okay, but I'm tired. I don't know if I want to walk, man. Let's just catch an Uber or something like that." So we start walking, and we're walking, and we're walking, and about an hour or two goes by, and we're still walking. We stopped by a hat store and spent about 2 hours in that store. I swear it took us about 5 hours to get back to our hotel room. So yes, you can get in trouble in Vegas. Nothing crazy, but you know, let me just tell you, my feet were hurting me that day quite a bit. But it was a fantastic time. We have a lot of great stories that we could share. And I really enjoyed it. Circling back to the programming, something I'm very interested to learn more about is what you're doing in the DEI space. It seems like you have a lot of amazing things going on when it comes to that. Do you mind sharing a little bit more about that, Ashley?
I'm thrilled to share more about that. So the Vision Council started about 2 or 3 years ago with a benchmarking survey across the industry to understand where we were in optical and vision in terms of DE&I. And from that survey, we've now progressed to a place where we can place ourselves in context against other industries, and we can also start advising on how to take action. So our programming at Vision Expo West and moving forward is really all about how you can take what we know and put it into practice within your own business with your employees, how you can be more sensitive to your patients. And so we do have a really compelling DE&I panel taking place at the scene. It's sponsored by EssilorLuxottica. We're really thrilled to bring it to the show, and we've worked really hard on it. And it again, it's just a lot of really great leaders and thinkers in optometry and the industry talking about what do you do now? Like, okay, we know we need to do something. Like, what do I do? And I think it's of great service, quite frankly, that instead of just talking about it, we're now offering some suggestions on like how to take a next step in this.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I mean, we really need these tools and resources at our fingertips. What we have to realize is that the new majority by 2045 will be minorities. And if you don't have the resources and tools to be able to communicate with those patients, to be able to educate your team members in the office, then we're just not going to be able to create the ultimate patient experience for our patients. So it's very important to make sure that we have that education and everything to be able to elevate that patient education and experience. Because at the end of the day, we always got to remember, and I say this all the time, we are the gatekeepers into the healthcare system. And to be able to continue that, we have to be able to communicate with our patients. And I'm thankful for EssilorLuxottica for putting together this program to really take it to the next level when it comes to patient care. Dr. Sian, I'm curious to get more feedback from you in regards to this topic, because you have a unique setup, man. You have, a private practice and a corporate practice. And, when you have different settings like that, sometimes you can have different demographics, or sometimes you can have the same demographic. But what are you going to take from this event when you go and attend here in a couple of weeks?
Well, on that specific note, as far as the DEI conversation, I think just to add to that a little bit, there's a lot. I think the majority of us are very well intentioned and we want to do the right thing, but we often don't have the specific tools or the right actionable advice that we know how to like put that good intention to into practice. You know what I mean? So I think it's really important that things like this are put on for the majority of us who want to learn more about it, do the right thing, do it the right way, create a good work environment for our staff and our doctors, and then of course for our patients as well. So I think that's really valuable that you guys do have that. And I'm sure moving forward, it's going to set a good example for other conferences and other panels like this that happen in the future. But on the note of like actual practice wise, man, I take away so much every time I go. And like you said, because I have the two different modalities, I'm always looking for different pieces of information that can help both practices grow. So we have the private practice, which is a sublease, and we have the private practice, and we have the corporate practice, which is a sublease. And in the exam room, it's all the same, right? I'm the doctor, I'm the optometrist, I'm giving the doctor advice and having the same doctor conversation. We have all the same tools in the exam room, but the second you step out of the exam room, it's quite a different experience, because the patient is going to have a different experience interaction once they leave. So for the private practice, I'm like, man, what cool new frames can I bring in? What cool new tech can I bring in, or edging equipment or things like that? What's happening that's cool and new in that space that can help advance our practice? On the other side, just trying to experiential type of stuff, making sure that the patient's having the best experience in the exam room. What other type of diagnostic equipment can we bring in? All of that's there. So I love, man, like I said, without exaggeration, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I'm walking around like, what's next? What's next? What can I, every single time. So I think there's, like you said a few times already, something for everybody, and more than likely something that you didn't even know that you're going to get, from the conference when you attend.
Yeah. Well, outside of the programming, the education, the amazing layout of the neighborhoods, one thing that's top of mind is safety. And this is something that we really need to touch and break down, because, COVID is still out. People are worried. People are concerned. What are you doing for this conference when it comes to safety, Ashley?
Well, I'm really glad that you brought it up, because in all of our excitement to talk about how great the show is going to be and how many people are coming and all of our almost 300 exhibitors and everything that's happening, it's not lost on us that we have to deliver it also in addition to a great event business wise. We also have to deliver a safe event. And so we've been preparing for this since January. We launched something called Vision Safe in January to learn how to deliver a large scale event safely in the time of COVID. And I'm pleased to report that we did it, and we have a track record that we can do it, because we just did it in June in Orlando, and people came and we wore masks, and it was a great event. And we were all happy that we were there. So we have Vision Safe in place. In Las Vegas, it's mandatory that you're masked when you're indoors. That's no different than when you're on the plane or in the Uber, but when you're in the hotel, the casino, the suites, the exhibition hall, like, we will ask that you have to be masked. We'll have safety stewards there to make sure that you're reminded if your mask comes down gently. But I think, listen, we know we can do it. We're all living with this. You're doctors. You've been seeing patients safely for over a year now, and whatever you're doing, like, we'll do it too. Like, you have protocols, we have protocols. We're all going to find our way through this, but our feeling is, while we can't control COVID, we can learn to live with it, and we will have our safety measures in place to make sure that we can keep people safe when they're at our show. Listen, if you're walking around the strip and you're in the hat store for 2 hours trying to walk your way back to your hotel in the middle of the desert, I don't know. But when you're with us, I know that we can run this safely and also productively, and also with like a spirit, still an element of fun, and just as all of you are doing in your practices every single day.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to run into that problem. I'm not walking anywhere with Dr. Adam Ramsey at all. I'll take my own route, my own Uber, and get to where I need to. But no, you bring up a great point. I mean, we have all been practicing safely. We have our protocols. We're used to it. Our colleagues want to see each other, so they know they need to get out there and do the right thing and be safe as well. But I'm super excited that you do have this Vision Safe program in place, and that you've actually tested it at the previous Vision Expo, and it was a hit, and it was a safe event. And I know it's going to be safe here as well. So thank you for putting that together. That's a big deal. It's going to make people feel more secure when they get off that plane and go into Vegas and enjoy themselves at Vision Expo.
Yeah, it's all of our it's our responsibility to do everything we can to create a safe environment, and it's our shared responsibility to make sure that we're respectful of each other and we wear our masks. And
yep, I know my wife and kids will be happy to hear about all the safety measures for sure.
Good.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. You get to bring your family out to Vegas. You get to get some education. You get to see your colleagues. I mean, it's the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
Ashley, there's something else that we have to talk about. We have to talk about the parties. I mean, Vision Expo is full of education, networking, but the nightlife is unmatched. So if you don't mind sharing what night activities are in store. I know Dr. Alan Glazier is going to have his famous ODs on Facebook party, so I know that's going to be a hit. But share whatever additional activities that may take place in regards to partying like a rock star.
Yes. Well, of course, we'll start in grand fashion with our opening night party. I have to refer to my list because there's so much going on. Our opening night party is Thursday night, where everybody's favorite eye docs of rock, the Bad Habits, will be performing. They are at the Hard Rock, so Thursday night, everyone's invited. This is our big like opener. I like love them so much, and they're I'm calling it their concert poster, but their ad for their event said, "We've been on pause long enough. It's time to hit play." And I honestly couldn't agree more. So we're looking forward to that. And then our friends at Prevent Blindness are honoring Mark Farrar from Jobson at the Person of Vision event. And that will take place Thursday night as well. And that's at Tao nightclub. And then,
Nice.
as you mentioned, our OGs on Facebook party will take place. That's Friday night at Dre's nightclub. And that, of course, is open to everyone as well. So I know that there are tons of customer dinners and brand launches and other things happening around. But these are welcoming to all. And if you have time in your busy schedule, it'd be great to stop by.
I always feel like every time I go to Vegas, you go on whatever your first day is. You're like, okay, well, this is just the first day. We're gonna start slow. I'm gonna enjoy the trip. But the first day always ends up being like this big. And with the opening party, I'm sure everybody's just gonna be, especially because everyone's been on pause for so long. I'm pretty excited to see a lot of people there. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Well, the other piece is this, Harbir, that everyone's been hiding behind a computer for the most part for the last couple of years. So,
Yeah.
to be able to go somewhere where the energy is right, and to be able to see your colleagues, and to also actually touch a piece of equipment and see how it actually works in a frame instead of looking at it virtually or waiting for someone to come to you, it's priceless, man. It's one of those things that everyone is seeking, everybody wants. So it's going to be an amazing time, an amazing event. But I know that nightlife, everyone likes to turn up. That's the one thing I learned about my colleagues while being in optometry school. Everyone loves to party that are optometrists. That is for sure.
Yeah, it's like it was a prerequisite, like with all
Right?
the biology and chemistry. It's like, do you like to party? Yes.
Yeah. Well, you study so much, you work so hard that you have to let it out, right? So it is due, that you have to get out there and enjoy life a little bit as well. So I'm with you 100%.
Oh, looks
yeah.
like we lost Ashley.
Yeah. Well, Harbir, I don't know about you, man, but Vision Expo is definitely one of the highlights of the year. I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited that it happens twice a year, because that means 2 times a year I get to see all my colleagues and really enjoy them and have great energy and just, make history and, create stories, things that we can share with our colleagues down the road and our children and things like that.
Yeah.
But what's your most favorite moment, or what are you looking for the most, I guess I should say?
Dude, so there, just in general, like I think we talked about it a little bit before, right? But in general, that the energy, I talk about I use the word energy a lot these days in general. Like I think it's just an important thing. Like being at that right wavelength. And when I go to Expo, I feel like that energy is there. And like Ashley said, sometimes I wish I could bottle it, but usually you absorb enough of it that when you come home, you're energized, even though you may be a little tired from the activities of the weekend, but you still have that energy, that different kind of wavelength that you're on. But the first time I went to Expo West, it was years back, and I was doing these YouTube videos. I don't do them anymore, but I used to film myself, and I would have this counterpart, my alter ego, dressed in a white lab coat, bow tie, glasses, and his name was Dr. Einstein, EYE, Einstein. And the Vision Expo West was the first time, and I got asked multiple times while I was there. It was like, "Oh, is the other guy here with you too?" Because they thought that it was another person, like my twin or something. So I found that as like a super funny experience, that people were asking me like, "Oh, is the other guy here too?" Like people seem to be more interested in my alter ego, Dr. Einstein. So I think this time I'm going to walk around wearing a bow tie and a lab coat, and maybe people will be more excited to see me than this version of me.
Hey man, I love this version, but I've seen that other version as well in YouTube videos. And when I tell you it's hilarious, man. I think you can't go wrong either way. I think the main thing is you have to show up. You got to show up. You got to turn up. You got to have a great time. You got to register. And you need to get out there so you can meet Ashley as well and party with Ashley. Ashley, are drinks on you and all that other jazz? Can we refer everyone to you?
As long as you're wearing a mask and you stay 6 feet away, you are very safe. Maybe.
I hear you.
I could follow those rules if that means free drinks. I'm down. I'm there. Count me in.
Awesome. Well, Ashley, this has been great. It's been a pleasure. It's always amazing to have a great conversation with you and learn more about, what the future holds for Vision Expo. Every year it gets better. I mean, the neighborhood's phenomenal concept. Vision safe, you're protected there. It's safe. The parties just I can't even describe the experience when you walk into one of those Vision Expo parties. And the most important part to me is the opportunity to reconnect with, your colleagues from school or meet people that you never met in person. Finally, in person makes a big difference. So, for those that are looking to go to Vision Expo, it's taking place September 22nd. That's Wednesday through Saturday, September the 25th. It's at the Sands Expo and Convention Center in Las Vegas. Make sure you show up and enjoy. You can see that ticker line on the bottom. We want to see you there. Vision Expo will be amazing like it is every single year. So we look forward to seeing you. Any last words, Dr. Harbir or Ashley at all in regards to this amazing event?
You know what, Alan? Dr. Glazier just put up a really important fact there that I didn't know it had a name. It's called front loading. What I was talking about partying too hard on the first day. So I'm going to take that into mind. I'm going to be careful not to front load this time when I go. But man, I'm super excited. I just can't wait. Please, if you're there, shoot me a message on Instagram or something. Let me know that you're going. Let's connect. Let's talk. Let's go get free drinks from Ashley.
With your mask, though. Ashley, any last words?
Hey, thank you guys for meeting with me tonight. I'm really excited to see you all. I think the show is going to be great. We're in this together, and I look forward to seeing all of you.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. Everyone have a fantastic one. It's your favorite optometrist, Dr. Darryl Glover, and the handsome Dr. Harbir Sian, and our favorite guest, Ashley Mills. Thank you so much, Ashley. We look forward to seeing you guys next time. Talk to you later. All right, colleagues, and it's a wrap. Thank you dearly for hanging out with the D-Focus Media team. We hope truly something resonated with you. And if it did, be sure to give us 5 stars. And make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, you named it. And our handle is at D-Focus Media on all platforms. And until next time, be sure to keep it 2020. And we look forward to seeing you on the